back to my video. So today's video I'm gonna show you my top stationery supplies for bullet journaling. These are all my favorite that I use to do my journal, and it is also what I normally use on daily basis, and some of them I will recommend for you guys, especially for those who are beginners. So these are just my favorite, and I'm sure everyone have their own favorite, which is fine as long as it's work for you. It doesn't have to be exactly the same products that I'm using. I just want to share my experience and how it works for me. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, to start a bullet journal, we definitely need a notebook. So the one that I'm using right now is the Launch Term 1917 dotted notebook. For journaling, actually you can use any notebook, is fine, but I would recommend the dotted notebook because the dots will help you better with drawing straight line or boxes, and also help you to measure each boxes, make sure it's all even. And this one, it's come with many different colors, and I got mine in gray and also another one in pink. As you can see, I did with my last year journal. Don't worry if you cannot find any dotted notebook, especially here in Cambodia. You can also use the straight line notebook, which will work just fine. Moving on to the next one, which is pen. Of course, it's also important. Just so you know that any kind of pen would work just fine depending on your references. But for me, fine liner pen is a must. I love this Sakura Pigma Micron fine liner pen. They are very affordable and very accessible to use. For me, the finest, the better. So for outlining or drawing a line, I would use the thicker tip. And for filling out the description of my bullet journal, I would use the finest one, which is number 005. They also have the brush pen tip, but I don't normally use brush that much because it's a little bit soft for me, especially to do like bullet journal, but it will be perfect for calligraphy or lettering style. So as you can see, the smaller the number, the finer of the tips. But as I mentioned before, any kind of pen would work just fine. These are just my favorite and what I've been using for a while. And for this brand, you can find it anywhere. Any bookstore, they will have it, even here in Cambodia. So I normally take with me in my case with number 005, number 01, and number 02. Moving on to the next one is brush pen. I'm sure a lot of you guys love brush pen, so do I. But mostly when we think about brush pen, we always think about the colorful one, which I'm going to show you as well. But first, I would like to talk about a basic black brush pen, which what I realized that I use it more than any other brush pen. So these are the Tombow calligraphy brush pen. It comes with a hard tip and a soft tip, and I use both pretty equally because I'm not that good at calligraphy yet. So sometimes I practice with the soft tip, but the easier one is the hard tip. It's easy to control the pressure, and you can always fill up the thickness of the letter that you want. So moving on to another type of pen, which is the white pens. I know that for you guys as beginners, this is not really a must-have supply that you need, but when I first got it, I really like it. So I have two types of white pen. The first one is a Uniball Signor Broad White Gel Pen, and another type that I have are the Sakura Jelly Roll White Gel Pen. It comes in set of 3 or maybe 5, I guess. I got mine in number 05, number 08, and number 10. So as you can see, that they come with different number and also different shape of the tips. The smaller number, the finer the tips, and the bigger number, the bolder of the tip, if that makes sense. But I would not recommend you to get the smaller number. As my experience, I find that the bigger the tips is the better. And for this one, the white gel doesn't really show up like the Uniball one, and the color kind of fade away and it does skip a lot. But even the Uniball one, it's also skips sometimes. Just keep going and it will work just fine. So let's move on to the fun part of the color brush pen. So these are the Bright Ideas color brush pen that come with two tips. One side is a brush tip and the other side is a liner tip. This actually my first purchase when I first started doing bullet journal, and I'm lucky to find this kind of brush pen because I always love to have the Tombow brush pen, but it's pretty pricey for me and it's also hard to find here in Cambodia. But actually this one I also got it in the state when I was visited last summer. This one, if you want to practice on your calligraphy lettering style, these are perfect for that, and the color doesn't leak through that much. So since we talk about the color pen, the next one I'm going to show you is the Zebra Marliner color markers that also come with two tips. One side is a bold tip and another one is fine liner tip. It also comes with a set of 3 or 5, but they also do like individually sell, so you can choose any colors that you like. And I just got a few more of a neon color. I think they just came out, and you can see how the color are very soft and it's not too bright. I just love it. So the next supply is also my favorite, is the Superior Watercolor Palette that comes with 48 different colors. For those of you who live in Cambodia and want to find this kind of watercolor palette, I actually got it from a book collection. You can follow their page on Facebook and it's located in Phnom Penh. So this palette, it also comes with a lid and 2 water brush pen. You can just fill in the water and dip into any colors or mix it as you want. And I love how easy it is to paint with this brush pen, especially you will find it with no mess at all. But you can also use any other brush that you like to use and what's comfortable for you, but I don't mind just using this one, especially for my bullet journal, since I don't really do much of a color on my journal. You can easily mix the color and make it softer as you want. But you might need to find a notebook that has a thicker paper type, but the one that I'm using is working just fine. It does shrink the paper sometimes, but it's depend on how much water you putting on the paint, and you need to make sure that you don't squeeze the water out of the brush too much. So my next supply is pencil. I normally use pencil as a guideline with my journal setup, especially when I do a heavy drawing design like this month setup. You can go check it out, my last video. So for pencil, I don't really care as much because I will erase it anyway. So any kind of pencil would work just fine. So the one that I'm using right now is a Faber-Castell Graphite Sketch Set. It comes with different shades. I actually bought this pack for a sketching or practicing my drawing, and it is perfect for that because as you can see they have like different thickness of the shades, so you can working on your shading skill as well. It also comes with an eraser and a sharpener, and the one that I'm using for my journal is the softest one, which is number 2H. And for sketching the guideline of my bullet journal, I like to use the soft pencil because it's easy to erase and you can really see it even if you miss any spot when you erase it. For the eraser, I will have another one that I'm going to show you right now. Is the Pentel correction tape that come with eraser as well. I love how accessible it is, the packaging not too big, and I love how I can just use both at the same time, and it's very easy to carry around as well. Actually, compared to the one that it come with the pencil pack, this one worked much better as you can see. And for correction tape, just one swipe and you all clean. So the next one that I also like to use with my bullet journal is a glue tape. I know it looks very similar to the correction tape one that I showed you earlier, but the way that you use this one is pretty much the same as you use the correction tape. And what I love about this one is that it's not messy and you can easily control it, and it doesn't bum around like the glue stick or a liquid glue. Last but not least is a ruler. Even though I don't use it that much, but once in a while I also like the look of the straight clean line for a bullet journal as well. And with ruler, any kind of ruler would work just fine. So yeah, that's all for my video, and these are pretty much all my top essential supply that I use for my bullet journal. I hope you guys find this video helpful, and thank you so much for watching. I wish you all good luck and take care of yourselves.